Welcome back to Story Pirates Roll Call, where we read stories written by kids and then talk about them. And, you know, we're inspired by them. We're awed by them. Mm-hmm. We dissect them maybe a little bit. Peter is here.
Yes, I am.
As well as our incredible special guest today, who the Story Pirates are going on tour with this October. Please welcome Brian and Neil from Koo Koo.
Woo!
What's up, guys?
A 2-date tour.
Wow, 2-day tour. That's all you need
Y'all
for it to be a tour.
Y'all are doing a lot more shows. Y'all are doing a lot more shows, but we're just jumping on for 2 of them, a little sampler. So we're really excited to do that in the US of A.
Brian, Neil, so excited to tour with you guys. We're just such a big fan of you guys and your band. You've been around forever. From one of the very first times we went to Minnesota, I remember a friend of mine was like, do you guys know Koo Koo? They're like the greatest band in the whole world. You got to perform with them. And now here, like probably like 15 years later, here we are finally doing it. So thanks for being here. Thanks for joining the party.
Wow, you have some tastemaker friends.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get into the first story. This first story is by a 7-year-old in the United Kingdom named Freya. And Freya's story is called The Afternoon T-Rex. T-Rex spelled T-E-A, T-Rex, like that you drink.
Of course, I got it.
Yeah, you
got
get it.
Right
okay.
off the bat.
You guys have had tea before. You know it.
You ever heard of it?
Is.
Yeah, we've had to spit out liquid before. Yeah, we've had tea.
Once there was a dinosaur that was a type of dinosaur called an afternoon T-Rex. It was kind of like a T-Rex, but it ate afternoon tea every day, and it was obsessed with tea. He had a hat that was in the shape of a teacup. The only problem was because his arms were so tiny, it was really hard for him to actually drink tea from a teacup, which made him very sad. He was always spilling tea, and he couldn't reach his mouth with the little sandwiches. He usually just ate with his mouth straight off the table. Then one day, when he was just walking along sadly, he saw another afternoon T-Rex. She looked just like him, but bigger, and with a teapot hat. "Hello," he said. "Hello," said the other afternoon T-Rex. They started talking and realized that they both spilled tea every day and sometimes couldn't even put the little sandwiches in their mouths, all because of their tiny arms. The first afternoon T-Rex asked the other one to dance. They got to a part where they were spinning around holding claws, and they loved spinning around, so they kept spinning and spinning and spinning until their arms stretched.
What?
Now they could drink tea from their teacups and put as many little sandwiches in their mouths as they wanted. They were so happy. The only problem was, now with their long arms, they sometimes tripped over, but they thought it was worth it for all the tea. The end.
Wow.
It's like a rom-com. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's inspiring. Sometimes you just got to meet the right person, and your biggest problems in your life will be solved.
That's true. That's what love is. Get all your problems solved by meeting someone. That's what I think.
I just can't get the image out of my head of 2 T-Rexes with super long, like dangly arms that they trip over.
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of version of the tiny arms joke, right? Like it's a nice spin on that. Do you guys have any ideas when the first recorded version of the tiny T-Rex arms joke, who did it first? Where did it show up first?
I would say that probably, Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park cracked the first joke. But I would say it's probably maybe 12 to 14 days after they discovered the first T-Rex fossil. So, we're talking 1834 or something like that. A good one got dropped. But meme culture didn't really exist then.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think there was a caveman? I know the cavemen did not live the same time as dinosaurs, but what if they did? That first joke started early. What are you going to do?
Maybe that's when they accurately got it right and had feathers on them and tiny arms, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking
and then
of Dr.
we
Grant.
all messed it up later. They had the joke right.
Well, so
I was thinking it's either going to be stretchy. I was like, this is either going to be stretchy arms or they're going to 3D print an insane cup that goes up to their mouth. And then it starts this whole new craft fair business of T-Rex 3D printing, which still could happen in the sequel.
That's where my mind was going too. It was more of like a cyborg situation, though. I thought they were going to acquire, some sort of attachment to be able to have longer arms and drink the tea, or some sort of beverage device, that attached to the beverage and allowed them to drink it in a different way. But we got to body modification one way or the other.
Well, I'll tell you, the first place that that tiny arm joke, as far as I can tell through my internet research, was from a Gary Larson comic in the 80s. The Far Side. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember The Far Side, but
Far Side.
There's a Far Side calendar a day thing in my house right now.
Oh, well, it's the one they're sitting at the dinner table and the daddy T-Rex can't pass the mashed potatoes. And I'm like, Gary Larson, what a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we forget about him. I feel like he doesn't get his due, really. You see Calvin stickers on people's trucks, but you don't see any Gary Larson. You don't see any Far Side on anyone's truck.
I want to see a Gary Larson cow on a bumper sticker.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
You want the Gary Larson DreamWorks Illuminations movie collab coming out. You want to see that. You want to see that trailer coming up.
100%.
Where it's just like cynical darkness, and just spreads over the movie theater in the trailer.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like who's made the first joke about the T-Rex short arms, and it definitely happened after the T-Rexes had died, because you can't really make that joke because they'll just eat you.
I have the image in my head. I don't know if that's the thing I've actually seen, of just like a King Kong type gorilla with its hand over the T-Rex's forehead as the T-Rex tries to get him. Like the bully forehead push.
Probably also first mentioned in a Gary Larson comic.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do you guys think the arms are stretched out at the forearm or from elbow to shoulder?
Really good question. I guess I sort of
stretch?
imagined it was an equitable stretch.
It was, uniform pull.
Yeah.
Fully stretched.
Speaking of old 90s stuff, do they still make toys like Stretch Armstrong where you can like stretch and change a part of the toy or doll? Is there, is there that kind of thing? I haven't seen that out there.
Well, this is another thing that we can monetize.
Armstrong.
We could monetize action figures of these dinosaurs with stretchable arms.
Let's sell the afternoon T-Rex.
We'll cut Freya in.
That's right.
It'll all be good.
Now, Freya had, you started off with tea, but the actual best part about this story is sandwiches, because that's what's really important here, right? It's like
the little sandwiches.
Like, because this could be savory, it could be sweet, like could be like a little, strawberry cream sandwich, a little crumpet,
I wish you saw that
we could
more
be doing
than you saw like
some
a cucumber thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I want biscuits. I want all that stuff. I want crackers, little cookies. I want it all.
Well, Freya's from the UK.
That's true.
Freya knows her afternoon tea treats, and they're little sandwiches.
That's true. Gentlemen, let's get on to our next story. I was wondering, Neil, would you read this next story for us? It's by 14-year-old Titus in Canada, and it's called Submarines, an Origin Story. Would you read it for us?
I would love to. Thank you, Titus, for sending this one in. Submarines, an Origin Story. Hello and welcome to History Class. I'm Mr. Albert, and today I'll be teaching you the history of not-so-subtle submarines. Let's begin. Submarines were invented during the World Sub-Sandwich War, when subcontractors subleased several subplots of land that were subdivided in Nebraska. Submarines were supposed to dig through subsoils under the Nebraskan farmland, but failed, so they were moved to Nebraska's only tiny pond. After that, well, you know the rest. If you want a more detailed explanation of submarine history, go watch my video on my YouTube channel, Subsidiary Subways Under Sudsbury. Any questions? Yes, sir, I have a lot of questions. My first one is, ding, Saved by the Bell. The end.
Man, hearing you act those lines right there just reminded me, I was like thrust into the dog who did the boogie. I was like, pulled right back.
We were on.
You guys are on that Story Pirate song. Listeners, viewers, go check that out. Amazing story. Brian, any thoughts?
I thought Neil was actually like just saying like, I have a question about this story. And then it went ding.
That's the sign of a good actor, is he thought he was coming out of the story, but he was actually so deep in character.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how many usages of sub is in there. It's like 5 different usages of sub in the different, subterranean. But great pick on Nebraska. Neil just has so many ties to Nebraska that it was just meant to be that he wrote that he read that story today. So,
I thought of you guys when I read the story originally because it's just like, it's so alliterative, if that's an adjective. And you guys as like, dare I say, hip hop artists, you probably, that's something that must jump out to you when you read a story. You're looking at, and so my question is like, do you pay attention to language a lot because you're lyricists, because you're writers of so much hip hop?
I do. I really appreciate it, whether it's a story or obviously a song. I mean, I feel like it just makes it so much more rich and interesting and funny. It's a whole, like side of comedy, and just going the extra mile. There's a different version of this that doesn't have all those sub puns in there or wordplay.
Totally.
And it's just, it's like 10% not as good. So I think I appreciate Titus going above and beyond and adding the wordplay humor in there. It's great stuff.
We are not lyricists. Neil's a lyricist. I only know melody. I don't even know what people are singing until like the 10th time I hear it. You know what I mean?
I
just need the hook.
Are we breaking news here? That there is a music lyrics divide in Koo Koo? I'm not sure that that's public knowledge.
So. I think
no, it's just doing the magic of how we like songwrite, yin yang. Like sometimes we'll have a song, even like we have a new batch of songs we're working on, and I won't even get a lot of the jokes until we probably even play it 10 times. I'll be like, oh, that's what Neil meant. That's so great. He's so funny. I'll think it in my head.
Brian's very shameless about not even our songs, but just like when there's songs that he even likes, he will like miss-sing the lyrics. Like if he's singing along to a song on the radio and it's one of his favorite songs, he doesn't need to know all the lyrics. He'll just say what he thinks it is, and doesn't matter if that's incorrect or not, right? That's what he heard. That's the lyric.
Okay, so I do have a question about this story, though, just to bring it back. Saved by the Bell, it says at the end. Does this mean that Mr. Albert made all this up in the world of the story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I believe that Mr. Albert has realized we've entered a new era where you can't ignore YouTube. If you want to have a business, if you want to make money and make a living. And so he is trying to increase his YouTube subscribers by making up wild stories in class and then pointing his kids in his class to his YouTube channel so that they'll go and subscribe, thinking they'll hear something wild and crazy.
So he's a YouTube conspiracy theorist?
Well, yes, I guess so. He's making up alternate histories. Wow. He's a revisionist history
Irresponsible,
YouTuber.
Mr. Albert.
It is very irresponsible, and I don't think it's appropriate for him to be doing that in class.
But at least Titus, in writing the story, like he's a real pro. When he shared the link for his YouTube, he went into the settings and got the shareable link and didn't do the main one on the bottom that has the .shared file. So like Titus is grinding. He's working hard. Same with Albert. They could have bit.ly linked it. They could have tiny URL'd it, but just gave the real jam.
And right here, that is how you can tell that Koo Koo has way more subscribers for their YouTube channel than Story Pirates does. Because that was all gibberish to me. I have no idea what you just said.
I got 40% of it.
I heard bit.ly and I got scared. All right, we have one more story to go here. Peter, would you do us the honor of reading this for us?
I would love to. Our final story.
I would love to. Thank you
Brian,
for offering one to me,
Brian,
too.
Actually, I have a special assignment for you, too.
Fine.
If you could just, look interested.
I don't want this pity stuff. Peter, you better start talking.
Let's
go.
Give me your most interested look during this one.
Story.
Reactions. Ooh. Some good reactions. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I'm trying to get good cut to material that you can cut to every once in a while.
Yes, this is great.
Our final story comes to us today from an 8-year-old from Georgia named Lorelai. And Lorelai's story is called Attack of the Immortal Alien Cockroaches. Whew. I am a shoe. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am a shoe. I have a great tale to tell you. Dramatic pause. It is the origin story of aliens. Crowd. Huh? Weird talking shoe. Basically how aliens came to be. Oh. Narrator. Once upon a time, Josephine and Emmy were playing in the pool when they saw a cockroach. When Josephine scooped it up with a reusable water balloon and put it on the side of the pool, it moved. Ah! They both screamed, and Emmy ran away screaming. Emmy climbed a tree, and the cockroach followed. I, the narrator, also ran away screaming. Anyway, back to the story. Emmy, luckily, had a parachute in her swimsuit. The cockroach did too? Cockroach. I got you now! After Emmy got to the ground, she ran to her house and jumped acrobatically to her deck. And then the cockroach pulled out of umbrella and a fan and flew up to the deck. She went to get her mom, who apparently builds spaceships, and they sent the cockroach off to the moon. Cockroach. I will be back for revenge. One day you'll see. Ha 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 ha. Dramatic spaceship blast off. They sent him up without a spacesuit, thinking he would die. But the cockroach had a secret. He was immortal. And so eventually he became an alien cockroach and went to crop farms to get revenge. And that's the story of how aliens came to be. The end. Narrator. I'm just a narrator who is hired by the weird shoe. Weird talking shoe. Hey! Narrator. I got hired. I did not want to do this. The end.
Really unprofessional of the narrator to just lay it out like that at the end of the story.
Yeah.
I guess what he's doing really is preparing for a future where the cockroaches are ruling us all. Like I heard the other day, someone said there's this like whole quasi-religion of AI tech weirdos who are like, we have to do everything we can to bring AI into reality because we can't be seen in the future as having hindered it in any way when the computers are in charge. And that's like what this guy's doing with the cockroaches.
That's just as misguided as this narrator, I think.
Well, now you're on tape saying it about the computers. I, for one, welcome our new computer overlord.
Because listen, I'll say this right now. You got nothing on me, future AI robots. And if they really had power, they would send someone back in time and stop me from saying this. And guess what? I'm still here.
They sent someone back in time to make Peter fall down a hole.
Oh, wait. I love AI is the point of my story. What was I saying?
Can cockroaches live on the moon actually with no oxygen? I can't remember. I know they can like live in insane like environments and stuff like that.
They cannot. But you know what can?
They cannot.
Is a tardigrade. You know a tardigrade?
Oh, yeah, tardigrade.
That was like...
Yeah, those tiny microscopic entities or living...
They look like little...
They're more than one cell, right?
They look like little bears, but they're the smallest little thing, and you can freeze them, you can take them to space, and you can thaw them out, and they're the hardest things to kill.
Tardigrade?
Yeah.
They're a microscopic, like, being.
Wow.
But they got legs. They're cute.
That's cool.
In the story was referenced reusable water balloons.
Yes.
Have those entered anybody's world yet this summer?
No. Are they real?
Because they're amazing. They're an amazing invention, and they are better than water balloons.
Explain what it is.
Okay, so it's like a silicone, like little ball, right? About the size of like a tennis ball. And then it's like, see, you got to be careful. They do rip apart pretty easy, but they have two magnetic sides to them.
Oh.
Like really soft magnets, but strong enough. So like they capture water really fast. You just have a bucket and you just fill it up. So they fill up faster than regular water balloons. There's no tie. So you do it. And when they break, they don't have that like hit first and then wet. They just like open up.
Wow. I love that. I love that. I'm very into that.
Something I liked about this story is that it's like a meta situation where it's like it's like a story about a story. Is that a common thing in the Story Pirates universe or the submissions you get?
It's fairly common. We've talked about this before. Narrators are often
self-aware.
Yeah, and emboldened in a way that makes them behave in questionable ways.
This has another layer to it, more than normal, which is the The weird talking shoe, which is the backstory we have not explored, is the one who hired the narrator and needed to tell this story.
The talking shoe did not really want the adoring public that's listening to the story to know that the mom makes the spaceship. It was like real, like, it's just slid it in there, you know?
Guys, it has been so wonderful to have you here joining us. Thank you for sharing your insights. Brian, I thought by the end of the podcast, like, I felt like you were really like interjecting at appropriate times and leaving room for others.
Perfect.
You know, people can learn. People can learn.
That's right. Koo Koo is touring basically everywhere all the time. So where can they find you guys online?
Well, there's this thing called the internet, and you type in her name,
Koo Koo,
and you hope you find it.
You'll find it.
Koo-Koo.pizza
and if you want to see Koo-Koo.pizza?
Yeah, that's our website.
That is the best website I've ever heard of.
All right. And if you want to see Koo Koo with the Story Pirates live in October, we're going to be performing with them in Missoula, Montana, October 17th. Travel to see it. We are also going to be in Boise, Idaho with Koo Koo on October 21st. You got to do that. Go to storypirates.com/live.
At the Egyptian Theater.
Yes.
That theater's really cool in Boise. It's so awesome. And they do such a good job maintaining it. And it's right by their like IHL hockey team, which is like the Silverfish or something. I don't know. It's a fun part of town. All right.
All right. And to read all of today's stories, just go to storypirates.com. Bye.